Yo, yo, yo. What it do? What it
Thursday.
do? That's it. That's it. How you doing, Mr. Dre?
I'm doing good, man. Another day in paradise, crawling through the trenches. How about yourself?
I am doing just fine. Mr. Alvarez, how has your day been, broski?
My day's been awesome. Getting through it. Can't
Sweet,
complain.
man. Awesome. We'll touch a little more on that on our days here in a second. But before we do, we're going to start a new thing here to make sure that our advertisers get their love right off the bat. So we want to give the love to our sponsors, AccuBid Pro. They've been a sponsor with us since day one. Y'all all know what they're about. Got that amazing application for you owner and lease operators out there to record your costs. Learn what your cost per mile is and be able to bid better on freight, bring in more revenue, and that means more profit.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
Ooh. And on to our newer sponsor, Sureline, which we had Mr. Clint Weston, the owner of Sureline, on our show last night. You're going to need Sureline after you've downloaded the AccuBid app and you've learned where you're profitable at, and you start bidding on all that good-ass freight, bringing in all that money. You're going to need somebody to pay you. So who are you going to call? Not the Ghostbusters. You're going to call Clint at Sureline Capital.
Beautiful.
Hooty hoo! Yo, there we go. All right. Now we'll actually talk a little bit about what'd you say?
Me?
Whatever. Never mind. Anyway,
now you said hooty hoo. I was looking out for the blue lights, man.
Anyway, Hunter, what? Hooty hoo! I don't know. Hey, unless you're like a '90s person, you don't even know what the fuck that means. Anyway, Hunter, more specifically, how was your day, man? Anything interesting happen with you, bro?
Not much, man. Just kind of rolling into the holiday season, getting some things ready for the new year. So yeah, nothing too crazy, but yeah. How about yourself, man? Am I lagging over here again?
I hear you.
What about you, Mike? You are. But I mean, I can hear you fine. It's just your video lagging a little bit.
It all looks good for me.
Mike, how was your day, man? Tell us.
They was all right. Trying to finish up Q4 pretty strong. We're dealing with a couple audits and investigations, but trying to help these guys do what we do, help with compliance.
There you go.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And I know we're gonna talk more about what you do, man. I know you only have a short amount of time with us, so we are going to try to make the most of what time we do have with you. My day, just a regular old freaking day, I guess, as normal. I mean, I did get 2 new customers, man. I actually have a customer, non-customer. And the reason I say that is because they're a customer with me, they're set up, and like I could ship their freight, but my majority of their stuff is customer routed. So like they send out rate requests on the behalf of their customers because their customers like to use my main customers preferred carrier list, if all that shit makes sense. So anyway, he sent quotes, and if you win the bid, then he refers you to his customers and they set you up with them. So it's kind of like a fucking referral, you know what I mean? And it's like, just like today, dude, it's like he had the load was a part of 2 partials put together. one going to New York, one going to Vermont. And so I got 2 new customers out the deal. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, I don't know what kind of volume and stuff they do yet, man. This will be the beginning of our relationship with this load, but still, I'll take care of them. I'll do good with them on this, and they'll throw me more shit. So, yeah, man, pretty excited about that. If y'all would just give me 2 seconds here, Hunter, man, I'm still going here and like sharing all this stuff to my freaking pages, man. It takes a minute.
No, absolutely.
I'm just slow, man. That's all it is.
Michael, y'all getting any
get to our
snow up
news
there in the
here.
Bronx?
Get to our news
Nah,
here.
not yet.
Not yet?
Nothing yet. We're waiting for it.
We're getting some down here, not
Yeah.
not in my area, but out east in the Smokies. There's definitely some starting to fall, but yeah, I figured y'all'd be getting some good blankets this time.
I'm hoping for it. I like the snow, so
Oh yeah, same.
we haven't gotten anything yet. It's dry up here. It was actually it was pretty warm up here today. Actually, it's pretty warm.
Really? What
Yeah,
was it up
enjoy.
there?
It was like 40 degrees.
Yeah, nice and warm.
Wasn't bad. We're not in a sweater.
We're down here hunkered down in the south, man.
It was
Nah,
67
yeah, it
here
wasn't
today.
bad.
Shit, I went on my walk today in shorts and a t-shirt, bro. It was 67, still warm to me. Anyway, all right. So we have limited time. I got my shit together finally. Again, y'all have to forgive me. So we're gonna go ahead, run through our news story real quick, and then we'll get on to Mr. Alvarez here. All right. Boom, here we go. Iowa 80 truck stop is hosting a trucking policy announcement by a Republican presidential candidate. I know we have a pretty hard rule on this show about not talking about politics or any of that kind of stuff, but this one actually specifically has to do with all you truckers out there. So I thought it would be a really good one to bring up. All right, presidential candidate Ramaswamy plans to roll out his trucking policy December 21st at the Iowa 80. And for those of you who do not know what the Iowa 80 is, do you even really logistics, bro? So, and as far as I found, I may be wrong on this, but as far as I could find, he is actually the first presidential candidate from either party to make the Iowa 80 a stop on the campaign trail. So the visit and the unveiling of the policy, as I said, takes place December 21st. There will be several trucking organizations who are partnering and backing Ramaswamy's policy, along with several news media in attendance. CNN, Fox News, a couple of others have already said they're going to be there. And the reason a lot of them are going to be there is because it's unusual, again, for a presidential candidate to stop at a truck stop and for them to actually target the trucking community directly while on the campaign trail. And I mean, and I agree with that. You guys think back, I can't think of any other candidate that's actually really talked directly to the trucking community. So in the press release today, Ramaswamy said that the Freedom Convoy in Canada, which was almost 2 years ago, in which hundreds of truck drivers blocked Ottawa and other parts of Canada to protest vaccine mandates for cross-border truck drivers, that instance unmasked the perils of government overreach, where speech was censored, protesters were arrested, and banks even froze people's personal accounts. I mean, I got to agree there, man. If that's not government overreach, I don't know what is. So what we know so far of the policy is that it will promote driver mental health policies, a huge thing. We've actually talked about that a couple of times on the show. So I'm glad that that is one of the main topics. Truck parking and parking safety. Again, something we've talked about on the show here. We do know how big of a thing that is. I also want to take this time to make the announcement that we will have Truck Parking Club's CEO coming on the show for our Christmas show next Friday, December 22nd. So make sure y'all tune in to watch that show there. Anyway, yeah. Oh, sorry, about to say something? All right, guess not. Good deal. All right. So to focus on truck parking and parking safety, more common sense hours of service. Man, I think that really, really, really 30-minute rule, fucking gone. Like immediately throw that shit out the door, trash it. You know what I mean? Honestly, I would, well, never mind. We got some stupid ass drivers on the road today. ELD's got it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like I know y'all already do some illegal stuff, but boy, we cannot set some of these cats out on the road with paper logs. Woo-wee. Anyway, all right. So
that's more geared towards the old heads.
I'm telling you, yeah, right. If you've been driving for 10 years or more, you know, like
all the young bugs, put the earmuffs on real quick.
Run paper logs. Oh snap! Fuck. Hold on, Matt. I'll get to you in a minute, man. Let me get back to this so we can finish. All right. It'll focus on more common sense hours of service. They will also drive driver retention instead of just recruiting new drivers. I honestly, I also think that that's a big one. And I think a lot of companies are already kind of starting to do that more, you know, kind of focus more on keeping the good drivers that they got. And finally, and this, I love that this was specifically mentioned. They will crack down on double broker and other fraud in the industry. Dude, that even though he is last in the polls, bro, but like that's good shit, man. For someone a president's candidate to even see, like, man, this stuff is an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like we have got to do something to address this issue. So yeah, that right there, I really like. Will again, I mean, it sucks. I'm pretty confident that guy is not going to win, only because you know the polls say what they say. But hey, again, still cool that someone like that saw it. Hopefully, you know, some of the other presidential candidates maybe take cue from this. You know, I mean, he going to this big truck stop, making this big show. You know, I guess you could say maybe it will bring some. Or it'll highlight it or whatever, bring attention, like I said, from some more presidential candidates. So there we go. Dr. Dre, you have anything to say on that? Mike, do you have anything you want to say on that?
No, nothing much. Just that it's good seeing these problems get highlighted by a presidential candidate. Whether he's going to win or not, it's good that the problems are getting up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. And, you know, just within this year, Rob, I know you and I have talked. I mean, we've been talking about this from day one. I think this was like our first topic, but the fact that the government's finally stepping in on double brokering and how it's really affecting this industry for the worst. I mean, that's showing you that this community is doing, you know, something right, at least those that care about it. So whoever's out there doing the dirty business, watch out. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I don't know. I'd have to go look at what our first one was, but you're right though. I mean, still, we have been talking about this stuff since day one, man. Fraud has been a topic that we have just tried to bring so much attention to. So I agree with you, man. I'm happy that you know, someone that high up. I mean, that guy's not even has nothing to do with the dang logistics industry, man. You know, just for him to have, you know, someone to have got back to him and him take notice of it, man, that's pretty righteous shit. But anyhow, all right. So short time. Obviously we had to go on a little early. That is because our guest called and told me, Robert, I don't care what you want. I need to do this. And I said, you know what, Mike? You're the man, bro. You pay the bills. No, I'm playing. I'm going to let you do whatever you want. So we had to go a little earlier, but Mike, I actually want you to touch on the reason you're going to have to leave the show at some point. So before we get on to Mike, we want to give a love to our number one fan, Mr. Matt Dahl. What's up, Matt? What's up about them Loungers? I know that's right, dude. We don't know if we're gonna go with loungers or the lizard.
The lounge lizards.
The lounge lizards, dude.
That's the number one in my book, dude. I'm making shirts for that. That's our next merch line right there. The lounge lizards.
I like the shit. We're gonna send Katie the first merch of that for free. Whatever.
Oh yeah, dude.
We're gonna send Katie the first one of that, dude. Hey, speaking of Matt Clark, if you're watching, dude, your coffee mug shipped today. Damn it, we expect a post on LinkedIn with me, Hunter, and the Logistics Lounge tagged. All of them, all three of them. It has to be all three. If not, we're coming to your house and I'm breaking that damn mug. So
we're just gonna take it. We're just gonna take it.
That's right, man. 100%. So yeah, man. Well, as soon as we get that merch, we'll be sure to bring that up for everybody, so y'all can see it. So without further ado, we're going to bring on Mr. Alvarez here. He and I connected actually through my Facebook group, and Michael then created his own Facebook group. And he was kind enough to make me a moderator in there, give me free reign to post all my bullshit in. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. But Mike's one of those people who kind of knows a lot and does a lot in this industry, specifically more on the carrier side. But the reason we brought him on tonight was to talk about compliance. It's another one of those things. And Michael, I do not mean this offense to you because I know how people feel about the word I'm about to say. But Michael is kind of like dispatch. And what I say about that is dispatchers provide a service that a truck driver can do, but they don't have the time to do or the knowledge. Michael does that on the compliance side. So, he does stuff that you can easily figure out and do. I'm going to say easily. You could do yourself, but he takes that off your shoulders because he knows more. It's his job, and he makes sure that that your stuff is together. So without further ado, here is Mr. Michael Alvarez.
That was awesome.
Did you like that, bro?
That was awesome.
Dude, I appreciate it, dude. I found that song specifically for you. I was trying to get your vibe, man. Like, I watched your videos and I was like, man, I need to get Mike's vibe, dude. And I found that song. I was like,
that was nice. That was nice.
All right, man. The floor is yours. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then I will lead up with my first question.
All right. Well, before anything, I just want to apologize to all the viewers. Reason I have to leave early is because I'm actually going to help a person with an investigation they got going on. They called me this morning saying that a DOT officer was knocking on their door. They need to have all the documents in order by tomorrow. So we're basically going to pull an all-nighter tonight and help them get everything that they need. As for myself, my name is Michael Alvarez. I'm an actual accountant as well, so I do taxes as well. And I've been in the trucking industry for about 3.5 years, I'd say. I started off dispatching for a pretty decent sized carrier in New York, and when he opened up his company, he had about 6 trucks. He grew up to 7 he bought another 2 within a couple months. And the new entrant audit came. He was panicking. He didn't know what to do, so he literally just told me, "Hey, handle the audit for me." And I handled it. We came out with a passing score, although most of his stuff was not in order. We got him in order. We got him compliant, got him enrolled in a drug and alcohol program. And we basically turned his company from being non-compliant to being fully compliant. After that, I basically went down the rabbit hole for compliance, started my own drug and alcohol consortium, started doing audits, investigations, and fast forward where we are now. We've got 100% success rate with new entrant audits. We've never failed an audit, never failed an investigation either. And we have a really decent sized drug and alcohol consortium. And we're just helping carriers with the stuff that they don't want to do. Our motto is don't waste time. We'll handle your compliance and you just drive on the road. Get that money.
Love that. Time is money in this industry for sure,
Yes, sir.
on
Yes, sir.
any side. And even as a broker, my biggest motto is I'm not an accountant. I don't deal with that type of stuff. So
I hate that shit, man. I hate that shit, dude. Oh my god. All right, so short time here. All right. My first question is, what are the top things, or what is your primary list of things that you do or tell a carrier, this is the stuff that you need to have in order? If the UCR, your whatever, man. Sorry, mine went blank. But what does that look like for you, Mike?
So I guess the top things that they need to have done in order to be fully compliant, if that's your question, is one is that drug and alcohol program. You'd be surprised a lot of these guys aren't enrolled in a drug and alcohol program, and once they get stopped or that audit comes, it's over. If you're not enrolled in a drug and alcohol program, that's enough for them to put you out. Other than that, I would say you spoke a little bit about it in the intro. Hours of service, uh, hours of service. Regardless of how you feel about it, I have my own opinions about EODs and HOS, but need to have that hours of service, that EOD implemented in your trucks if you're going beyond that 150-mile radius interstate. Needs to be done. And then just organization and driver qualification files. You need to know who you're hiring. You need to make sure every driver you're hiring is good enough and has the prerequisites in order to drive on the road, and that you're not hiring just some random guy fresh out of school who's testing positive on THC or whatever. Those are the basic things that a lot of people forget, but they should be keeping an eye on.
So do you, I mean, I know it's kind of crossing the line of being a recruiter, but with what you just said, that last statement, do you help, like, research or do background checks or whatever on the drivers with carriers? I mean, even if they're already hired on, and do you also help them do it with new hires?
Yeah, so we run just about every check possible for a potential driver. We run their background tests, we run their PSP, we run the test on the clearinghouse, and then we also send them to get drug tested if that company's enrolled in our drug and alcohol consortium. So if you have a potential driver, let's say you have a new guy, he's coming in, we'd hit them with every test. That way you're 100% sure this guy's qualified, and you can make the decision whether you want him or not. So whether he's a new driver or whether he's been driving for years, if you're going to hire him and you need us to look into him, we'll run every test possible.
Okay. So on this drug consortium thing, because I know that's a kind of new thing, and I say that to the people that have entered the industry in the last year or two or whatever it is since that came out. It's just par for the course for them. But I know a lot of the ones that have been in it beforehand, some of them it is a little bit difficult. And again, it's because it's one of those things that just don't have time to get into. So,
It's
damn, dude, my mind just completely left me, man. I'm sorry, dude. Like, brain injury, bro. Like, for real, brain injury. It just happens. It just poof. That's what my wife says. She goes poof because it's fucking done now, man. Okay. Here, I have it back. I have it back. All right. So with the drug consortium thing, man, how many people do you come across that don't have that properly done? And do you feel that is a really pressing issue for carriers? Like, as far as a lot of carriers still haven't done it, or they're not truly compliant with it.
Yeah. So I've come across a good amount. I'd say probably within this year alone, maybe out of individual drivers or owner operators, probably like 4 or 5 that I've come across that they come to me asking for one thing, asking about maybe IFTA, and then we get into the conversation. Oh, how's everything else regarding your compliance? And they think they're good. They think they have everything in order. Then you mentioned that drug and alcohol consortium, and I never knew about that. I'm not enrolled in any, so we get them on. But it's definitely a pressing issue because being a driver, being on the road is, let's be honest, a dangerous job. It's not the easiest job. You've got, not even because the driver itself is unqualified or anything. These drivers are trained. They go through the school. They know what they're doing. But to be honest, they're on the road with a bunch of idiots half the time. Everyone in the actual cars, like, come on, we know these guys on their phone and all that, and you being intoxicated or having that marijuana or whatever just amplifies the stakes. So I think I think every driver should be, not think, but they should, but I think every driver should be enrolled in that consortium, not just for your protection, but all these idiots on the road. We have to protect them because at the end of the day, if even if it's their fault, we're probably going to be the ones liable for it.
All right. So when it comes to that, and I'll move on to something else. I just know I've seen the drug consortium thing come up a lot recently. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people saying, "Hey, how do I do it? Where do I go?" And a lot of people offering their service to help folks with it. So,
hmm
what are the ramifications of not having it together on your drug consortium? Like, what could the FMCSA do as far as, can they fine you? Can they shut you down? Your insurance company, like, what are the things that could happen if that's not together, or if you have a driver fail a drug test?
So if you have a driver and he is, just to answer the last part of your question first, if you have a driver and that driver, he failed the drug test, but you still put him on the road, that is an automatic. They're going to put you out of service. If it's an audit, you're automatically failing that audit. There's no way around it. That is one of the automatic failures regarding the audit. If that driver failed a drug test and God forbid he got into an accident, that's jail time. That driver is
Um,
he's gonna go to jail.
No shit, really?
Yeah, yeah. He,
so
he
even if he fails the first time and he like comes back and like tests clean and then he gets on the road, does that fall under the same
so that
circumstance?
would be a different thing. If the driver fails
Okay.
the test, then he gets under the SAP program. He comes back. He's completely clean. Gets hired by a new company and gets into an accident or something. That would be a whole different thing. There's procedures. That's more of a DOT thing. The officers themselves would handle that on a case by case basis. But if the driver were failed the drug test and the owner of the company knowingly put him on the road, knowing he's positive for marijuana or whatever he's taking now, and God forbid that guy gets into an accident, that's either going to be a really, really disgustingly large fine, definitely a lawsuit by the victim, and you most likely are looking at jail time.
So, um, I'm gonna expand on the SAP thing because I didn't even think about that till you just started talking about the drug consortium. But um, what about your insurance? Like this drug consortium, say you have a driver, they piss hot on a test, just a random.
Yep.
In the drug consortium, do they report that to your insurance, or is it the carrier that needs to? And second part to that, could your insurance drop you? And how hard is it to find insurance if that happens? If you need me to repeat any of that, Mike, just let me know.
Got you. No. So insurance, um, and I actually, from speaking to a guy in insurance, his name is Dan. He's way more well versed in insurance and all that than I am. But if your insurance finds out that you have a guy who's tested, he's tested or pissed hot, or and he's tested positive, then they can definitely hike up the rates. As for if he tests positive and how they would find out, so whether he tests positive or not, it's going to be reported in the FMCSA clearinghouse, and that's basically a large database where I think as of January 2023, it's mandated that all CDL drivers are enrolled in the clearinghouse. So it's a large database with supposedly all CDL drivers, and if you're going to hire a guy, you can run his name in the clearinghouse, and you'd see if he's ever pissed hot or if he's in a SAP program right now, or if he's good to go and good to be hired. That's one of the checks that we give every driver before we recommend you hiring them or not hiring them.
So do you know if insurance companies, like, do they check that stuff too?
They very well could. I don't know. I'd have to ask Dan if he's doing that, but they very well could easily just go in, run the name of your driver. Because I know for a fact you have to put in each driver that you have in your company in the insurance, right?
Well,
So
I mean, what I'm saying is, Mike, Mike, say you're my driver, dog,
yep,
and you've been with me a year, and everything's all good. I'm like, man, Mike, he's a cool cat, and man, he runs hard. I don't know how he runs 4,000 miles a week in this 63-mile-an-hour truck, and then I give you a drug test, and Mike has coke and meth and friggin' every upper you can think of. You know what I'm saying? So would what I need to tell, or how to say this, I you come up positive for all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
would the insurance company find that out? Like, you piss hot, it goes in the clearinghouse, but do
Yep.
you know, like, do the insurance companies find out? Or, I mean, basically, if the carrier doesn't say, you're just as we like to say, riding dirty.
I think it's they'd be riding dirty. I don't think unless, like
Ooh.
you said, carrier goes up to them but no, I don't think the insurance guys are running checks on the clearinghouse. They should, but I don't think they're out there doing that.
See, look, I just gave you something to ask your boy Dan. Look at
Yeah,
that.
literally.
We all about spread getting knowledge and helping give knowledge. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So all right. So still on the drug consortium, and then we'll move on after this one. The SAP program, man. Can you tell people what SAP is for those that do not know? And B, do you help with SAP? Like, do you have connections that you send your clients to if they need to put a driver in the SAP program?
Okay, so yeah, so the SAP program is basically where every driver that's tested positive gets put into. So it's a SAP is basically a substance abuse professional. So a SAP is kind of basically like, and it sounds bad, but after you test positive, you're going to be given a handler. That SAP is your handler. He's the one who he's going to tell you, depending on what you test positive for and the amount you test positive for, he's going to give you the consequences or what you have to do in order to leave the SAP program and be eligible to get hired again. So once you are in the SAP program, you can get hired, but most of us know that no one's going to want to, almost no carriers are trying to hire people who are in the SAP program at the moment. Everyone's waiting for, most people are going to wait for you to finish, do all the drug tests that you have to do because they might tell you have to test 3 times a month for 6 months before you're out of the SAP program. So I do know, I personally send a couple people to a SAP professional that I know. She's out of Arkansas and she's really, really, really dependent. She knows her stuff. And I've only had, I think, one person not complete the entire program. I've sent 9. I probably had 8 come out and they're back on the road driving now and they haven't had any
I
issues.
I need you to send me that lady's info.
Okay.
Because dude, that would be a great topic for the show, man. The SAP program. Dude, that would be good. For real. Send me that lady's info, man.
I got you.
I want to get with her, dude, and have her on to talk about the SAP program for all you drug addicts. And I'm saying it'd be a really good thing to have. Damn it, Hunter. You make me laugh harder when I look at you and your ass is cracking.
You made me laugh, man. But hey, Mike, a question on that. So you're talking about it being in the how long does that last? Is there any period of time that you complete the courses and then like I hate to use this as an example, but like a degenerate in college that gets a DUI, if you go through the courses, you play the game. Yep. It gets dropped down or, Lord willing, it gets expunged. Is that something that can happen for a driver's profile? Because we all know, like one little blip in time, 10 years down the road, you mature and you learn. And sometimes that still can come back and hit you and where it hurts, Is that something that stays on you forever, or is there a way to get out of that?
So that's a pretty difficult question to answer because first part of the question, the SAP program, it varies on how long it'll last. So it depends on how how much drugs you had in your system and all that. Depends on a couple things, but they could give you you have to test for 2 months, 3 times a week. That's a little over exaggerating, but I've seen it last for a year. That's the most I've seen it last for. Where you got to test twice a month for an entire year. I'm definitely certain that there's people who've tested longer, but from my experience, it's longest is around a year, maybe 10 months, where you got to test 3 times a month.
Hey, all you drivers out there, you heard that shit. Up to a year. Just think about that. You better pray to Jeebus that your company is going to let you still hang around with them for that year, because if not, that's a year that your ass is, I wouldn't say out of work, but out of driving work. Yep. And that's likely a big freaking pay cut, man. Now, the second part of Hunter's question, I love how Hunter said that. Basically, Hunter's saying, "Hey, if it's like when I'm 18 and I get that Kia that I bought repo, like, is it come off my credit by the time I'm 25?" No, like,
No, no, that's gonna depending on the incident, of course. It's all case by case, but depending on the incident, that's gonna stay on your record. Whether they search up your MVR, your motor vehicle record, or whether they run your name through the clearinghouse or the PSP,
it's
they're more likely they're not gonna find it on your record, and that's gonna be a big deciding factor on if you get hired or not.
man,
Yeah.
man.
So once you're in the clearinghouse, you're in there for life pretty much.
Yeah.
So all you can really do is just rack up those certificates and show you've been trying to not chase the dragon from Los Angeles out to New York per se.
Yeah. So the
But,
clearinghouse is just going to show if you're in the SAP program at that moment. If not, then it'll
mhm.
say you're cleared. But the other ways of checking a driver's history, the MVR or running a PSP on their account on their driver's license, it's they'll be able to find their history for sure.
So Michael said they report to all three of the credit bureaus. You ain't getting away from that one
Not at
right
all.
there.
Nope.
Oh man, that's. I mean, I say that sucks, but I mean, in a way, I understand it. But it does suck because I agree with Hunter, man. You know, like people make mistakes, man. I mean, like they truly do. You know, what I mean,
Yep.
you're freaking going through it with the old lady. You go to your homie's house and you know you smoke a fatty. You know what I mean, or you know you're just out with the boys, having a hangover night. You know what I mean, and you do a little bit of nose candy. You know what I mean, people make mistakes, man. I get it. You know what I mean, but I do also, like I said, understand it. You know what I mean, we want to have visibility on those people that have presented themselves as a risk in the past, you know what I mean? So you at least know, hey, this person may have a tendency to, you know, pull over and take a few bumpy bumps or, you know, take a few draggy drags while they're
Yeah.
behind the wheel of the truck. So, yeah.
Well, just to speak on that a little bit more, like I said, it's mostly the MVR and the PSP that you'd have to worry about people finding your information because I'm almost certain that the clearinghouse they have a timeline. Like I think after 5 years, it'll go back to normal if you don't test again, test positive, and piss hot.
Okay.
It'll go back to normal after 5 years. But that MVR, let's say you get stopped or you get an accident, that's gonna show up no matter what.
Yeah, okay, I got you, man. I got you. All right, man. So my next one is, and the reason I'm asking this is because although I know it kind of seems simple, excuse me, I know it kind of seems simple. When I was helping a buddy of mine with his trucking operation, this was actually something that took me like two quarters, I think, to get it right, and we ended up having to pay some back money. But IFTA, man, IFTA. How much of a struggle do you see that being with people? You know, and I asked that same question because like I want my audience to know, like, hey, IFTA is a struggle with a lot of people. It's not just
Yep.
you. And you know, I mean, I wouldn't say what softwares do you use because I know that'll give away your tips and tricks, but you know, what kind of issue do you see with carriers when it comes to IFTA and being compliant and filing on time? You know, that kind of stuff. Do you see that also is a pretty sizable issue?
Yeah. So IFTA, everyone hates doing IFTA. Everyone, from my experience, everybody hates doing IFTA. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I definitely recommend outsourcing your IFTA if you don't want to, like, if you don't know it, if you don't want to deal with it, outsource it because between us, there are ways you can win with IFTA. Just like regular 1040 taxes, you can save money on your taxes if you know what you're doing. You can save money on your IFTA as well. And but you have to know what you're doing. You have to study the whole IFTA. You have to know exactly what you're doing. As for I think the second part of the question was what do people hate? What is it that they hate about it? Or
Shit, dude, I forgot. I really did. I'm sorry, man. I for real, man. I have a brain thing, man, and it does. My shit just kind of goes away sometimes. So, Yeah. Honestly, I didn't even know that there was a way to win on IFTA, man. I'll say when I did it for my buddy, I have a connection that he hooked me up with a software and
Mhm.
said, "Hey, dude, just like follow the instructions this thing gives you, and it'll freaking do it for you." Compile all the data. You just got to enter all your fuel receipts, blah, 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 blah. So,
Yep.
but point is like the first quarter when I did it, we only owed like $96. And I'm like,
Yep.
man, I remember that. It was like 86, 96. I was like, man, really? That don't seem right for all the fucking diesel we done pumped across this country in the last 3 months. And then like the second one, it was, I don't know, 200 and something. I was like,
Yep.
okay, I can believe that one. And then when we got to the third quarter, it was a little more, which I mean, understandably we were running more, but point is they were good variations. It wasn't
Yeah.
like, oh, we're doing more business. It's more like I screwed something up here. But anyway, we got to the third quarter and it was like 300 or 400 or whatever it was, and then we owed a fine or a fee from the previous 2 quarters, and it wasn't crazy. It wasn't a lot. I will say, I don't know every state, but in Texas, when you file it, like their penalty fee, it really is. It's like 25, 30, $50. That's some bullshit. But point is it was just real difficult and stuff for me, man. So,
Yeah.
how much of that do you see? And do you do all the filing for that? Do you just compile it? How does that work for you?
So for the drivers out there struggling with IFTA, a lot of drivers, a lot of owner operators do struggle with IFTA, so that's completely normal. No one wants to deal with all those numbers. Even me, if I weren't an accountant, I'd just probably stay far away from that. But yeah, no, a lot of people struggle with IFTA. What we do is we handle it all on your behalf. So we'll go once you give us the information to your EODs and your fuel card, we log in, we gather the information, and we file your IFTA. But not only that, throughout the year, and this is where I said you can win on IFTA, throughout the year, there are techniques that you can do with your where you stop at fuel optimization is basically what it is. We'll tell you where to stop, what cities, what states are the best to get that fuel. That way you can end up getting a refund on your IFTA instead of owing a credit.
What?
Interesting.
Really?
State by
You get a
state.
refund on your IFTA?
Yep, you can get a refund on that
Bro,
IFTA.
man, dude, I know, man. Oh my God, dude. I mean, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of that, but like I am making a big deal out of that because I never knew that shit. Like you could get
Yeah,
a
no, you
refund
don't
on your
always
hey,
owe. You don't always got to
I
give up
say
money. Sometimes they give you money.
for real. Hey, that's what I'm saying. It's awesome, bro. Because shit,
Yeah.
hey, we're taxed enough. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, sir. Yes,
hey,
sir.
if you can get yours back from the government, hey, please give me some of them trillions of dollars your ass is printing every day. You know what I mean? So all right, man. I know that you got to go here in a little bit, but so another thing I want to talk about, I don't know if you deal with this or if maybe at least you can give us some insight on it, but um, permits and what I mean by permits, obviously also goes along your yearly IFTA because obviously there's quarterly, but at the end of the year you have to file, and it makes you get your permits.
Yep.
The IFTA type permits, tags, plates, if you run oversized, like do you deal with any of that stuff, Mike?
Yeah, so we do permit registrations, permit renewals. We do the quarterly payments. So for New York HUD, Oregon, Kentucky, Connecticut, New Mexico, we'll handle all that. We do IFTA, but I will be honest, our main thing is we do help with audits. We handle audits. That's what we're known for. So new entrant audits, we guarantee a pass on the new entrant audit if you implement our systems before that. And within that system, we help you regarding your permits and all that because that all has to do with being in compliance.
Okay, so but y'all you don't deal with anything, like oversized permits or any kind of
No, we
stuff.
don't deal with oversized. No.
I got you. Yeah, that is like a completely separate thing. It was just
Yeah.
a hey, let me ask you this, man. Because although I was a driver, man, and like I said, I helped a buddy of mine. Dude, when it came to certain states, specifically ones you just friggin' mentioned,
Yeah.
we used to just like actually buy trip permits. Oregon, New Mexico, Kentucky. Like, do you know what the deal is with why those handfuls of states are so like have their own shit going on and they have their own rules to the game? It seems.
Honestly, it's difficult to explain, and I'd be honest with you, if I'd be lying if I told you I can explain it correctly. But they each the states that we mentioned, they each have their own just their highway use fee for using their
Yeah,
highways. That's what it is. I guess if they want to charge you for touching their highways, and they get their money's worth, honestly.
yeah. I guess in a way I could see it, man, because you know what? All of those states are not very populous if you think about it. You know what I'm saying? So like, I guess in a way I understand it. You know what I'm saying? So like here in Texas we have inspections, which they're doing away with the inspection, but they're attaching the fucking fee for the inspection on your registration. Point is we do that because although we're populous, we don't charge a state tax. So like we do other
Got
crazy
you.
to make up for that revenue. So I guess that's kind of what that is. All right, I said that was my last question, but I've got a few more minutes with you, and we just love looking at your pretty face. So I'm going to ask you this, man, um, to get down to your title down there, the trucker's accountant. Bro, do you do any kind of like actual accounting for truckers? Do you do books, financial consulting, stuff like that for drivers?
Yes, sir. So we like I mentioned, I'm an actual accountant outside of trucking and all that. Like I do personal taxes for high net worth individuals, and we do come tax season. We handle taxes for accountants. I think I have right now seven people who are owner ops, and they have their own fleet as well. Two of them have a think of like a fleet of eight. So I'm going to be handling their taxes come that time. We also do bookkeeping for truckers as well.
Bro, that is beast. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that is um man, when I first became a truck driver, dude, I had only had like normal jobs.
Yep.
So I went and filed my stuff at H&R Block and fucking Jackson Hewitt. Jackson Hewitt, there you go. Anyway, so when I had actually got my first local job at Performance Food Group, and I did my taxes. I was telling this guy, "Oh yeah, man, hey, I got an okay tax return, blah 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 blah." And that dude was like, "What, for real? I got like 2.5 times that." And he basically told me, he's like, "Man, he's like, trucking is a different beast, man." He's like,
Yeah.
"Dude, you don't understand. Even though I was a company driver back then, dude, you could deduct gloves, boots, even
Everything.
even as a company driver, you got your per diem. You had all these things, dude, that nobody told me about." And he recommended me to a tax lady, which I still use to this day, although she'll never see this. TTD in Killeen, Texas, Candy, that's my girl. But anyway, dude, she taught me, man, hey, like there's all these deductions that you don't understand and you don't know about that people like Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block, these little, even some of these mom and pop places who don't deal with drivers don't see that like there's a lot of things that can be deducted. And I'm sure it's even more so for owner operators. And
Yep.
I'll say this again. I actually said this on a previous show, but the greatest piece of advice that lady ever gave me tax wise, even though I'm not a business owner, was anything that you buy to support your business is a tax write off.
Yes, sir.
So like, she was like, if you buy pins to fucking take notes on post-its, the pins and the post-its are a write-off. Like it
Yep.
was nuts the knowledge that she dropped on me, man.
Let me tell you about that. So very recently, I had a client, really, I've gotten close to him after he reached out to me, but he told me his CPA, a CPA, certified public accountant, did his taxes. He's filing late. He had to pay $25,000 in taxes, is what he owed. Right? So he sent me his paperwork. He sent me what the accountant did. He let me look over his bank statements and all that. And me knowing trucking, I've been in trucking for almost 4 years, and knowing taxes as well, I reached out to my mentor who's also a CPA. Him and I sat down and we basically redid this guy's taxes. Once it was all said and done, he went from having to pay 25,000 to the IRS to only having to pay 9,000. And this is before we include his dependents and his children and all that. So he's gonna end up having to pay like around 6 or 7. So from 25 to max 7, we saved this guy a ridiculous amount of money. And I definitely recommend going to someone, an accountant, a CPA who knows trucking, because this is such a niche field. Like you said, it's not like any other job that if you don't know trucking, you're basically just throwing your money away to Uncle Sam. You're just giving it up.
That's clutch. If y'all are listening to this, reach out to
Man,
this guy right here. That is insane, dude. That
Yes,
is
sir.
insane. Almost $20,000 in savings
Mike,
just from reaching out to a dude.
you have got to put something together and for that and post that shit in my group and send it to me, dude. Like for real. Like we had a lady on not too long ago, Sade, and we were talking about stuff like this because she does taxes and stuff too, man. And man, I would love to put you in my Rolodex for all you people born like 1998 or later. Go look it up what a Rolodex is. Anyway, I love to put you in my Rolodex, man, dude, because it is that's a super important thing, man. And the whole reason for you coming on the show tonight was to speak to our carrier audience, man. You know, we really like to have stuff on that, you know, kind of engages everybody. And I think that compliance and compliance, money encompasses a lot of things, but you know, taxes specifically with that and accounting, bookkeeping, I think is really important because I hate to say it, man. And again, this is not me talking shit about carriers. This is just me being honest. And, you know, I mean, if the shoe fits, but a lot of these cats don't understand, man, that owning a truck, it's a business. They think they understand that it's a business,
Yep.
but they don't really truly understand what it is to operate a business. Like I'll say it, man, I don't know, for the millionth fucking time. They're transactional. They only see their business load by load. They don't see it load by load, week by week, bi-weekly by bi-weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. They don't pay attention to those things. Every receipt, you know, all these things. So dude, like, that's awesome, man. It really is. It's an important thing that drivers don't understand. So yeah. I know you got to get rolling, Mike. I know you got your next meeting in 20 minutes. So we appreciate having you on the show, man. And dude, you were welcome back anytime. Seriously, put together some content on what you do. Throw it to me. I'll promote you in my Facebook group. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You're awesome enough to allow me to promote myself and yours. So dude, shoot me some stuff over and I'll promote you. I'll even throw you on our LinkedIn and shit, man. So yeah. Hunter, do you have any closing comments, questions, suggestions for Mr. Alvarez here?
Dude, thank you for being on here. This is once
Thank you guys
again
for having me.
something in this industry that, you know, you don't really think about. Like there's so much more to this industry than anybody gives it, you know, time for. And you know, using a service like yours, spend a little money so you can save $19,000 or you know, whatever it is. Like it's something, you know, we're all stubborn out here in this industry. So like, make your life easier. Work with this guy. Like, but dude, thank you for being here, man. I love it. Like always cool to see you know, others in the realm that are, you know, pushing to make it better and make it easier. Like we're all out here trying to make a buck. We're the backbone of America. So keep on trucking, brother. I love it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Mike, do you have any closing comments you want to say about yourself? You want to drop yourself a plug while I got your info and stuff on the screen here?
Our main thing right now is the audit shield system. So any new owner operators, any new carriers, if you are just starting out and you don't have a compliance foundation, reach out to me. We'll put you guys into the audit shield system. We basically set up your entire compliance foundation, give you access to our portal where all your entire compliance hub is going to be. That way, if you do get audited or investigated, everything's at the touch of a button. We also teach a member, whoever you want within your company, how to maintain and upkeep the audit shield system. That way you don't need to pay anyone for any compliance help after, like, for years to come. And we're guaranteeing you guys pass on that new entrant audit because we will be representing you. So you will never have to speak or encounter that DOT officer because we'll handle it from start to finish. So that's the audit shield system. It's basically the only compliance system you're ever going to need within your company. And once you get it, you're not going to need to go anywhere else.
Ooh, listen to Michael over here. Listen to this, boy. Mike Lowry. I mean, y'all know y'all ever watched that? Yeah, I know y'all seen Bad Boys. In the first Bad Boys, Martin Lawrence is making fun of Will Smith and shit. He's calling him Mike Lowry, King Daniel, Mike Lowry. So, Mike, we really appreciate you having you on, man. As we said several times, both Hunter and I do. I don't think that this. I think that this is one of those things. As Hunter said, people don't think about it. Drivers don't think about it, They don't think about it until they get hit with the fine. You know what I mean? Or they get the email or whatever about their MC being in trouble or their insurance, denying or whatever it is. So.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, really, really great information. We so appreciate you having you on. And again, like I said, put together some content, man, for the tax stuff, the shield stuff, and shoot it over to me, man. And I'll drop you a couple plugs and everything, man. Throw you some love and stuff, dude. So, yeah, cool. We appreciate you having you on. Hunter and I are going to chill here for a few more minutes and just round out the hour, and then we will bid everyone adieu, and we will see everybody actually, I'll say all that bullshit here in a minute. Michael, have a good night. Appreciate you. I'll catch you on Facebook, bro. I got your number now, so I'm going to save it. Dude, we'll just keep on talking. You and I talk pretty regularly as it is anyway on Facebook, so we'll keep chopping it up, man.
Sounds good, man. Have a good one, you guys.
All right, you too,
appreciate it, brother.
Oh, look at me, my big ugly mug. All right, Hunter. No, what I want you to do is I want you to pull up some of that beautiful still bean footage, not the video bean footage, but the still.
Are you talking about some of that tasty merch?
Oh yes, that's what I want. I want you to show the people this stuff because once we get these our shipments or our orders just shipped today. Once we get this stuff in, we'll promote it next week on our show. But we want to give everybody a taste of it now so they can see what it is. And we got more to come. Like Hunter said, oh, damn it. Son.
What is that?
What is that, bro?
Ooh. You know what would get grandma going in the morning?
Hunter,
Christmas.
Look at your screen. Look at your screen.
Oh, is it not showing?
No.
Oh, I don't have my double screen going. Well, I will tell everybody right now, you're going to want to see it. And if you want to see it, we dropped it a few shows ago. Go on and check it out. The lounge line it's y'all. If you want to be a true lounge lizard, get yourself some merch. All right. We got the hats. We got the beanies. We got t-shirts embroidered. No cheap stuff. All right. It is going to be the number one thing your entire family wants. All of your drivers, all of your brokers, yourself. Get some stuff for your dog. I will create dog collars. We're gonna have water bottles. We're gonna have coffee cups. all lounge merch. If y'all have any ideas, drop it to us because the store is coming in hot. December 22nd, you will see it live time, y'all. It's no joke. Nothing cheap. You won't throw it out a couple months later because it's all faded up and ripped up. No, you're going to feel it right here. Embroidered. Real nice stuff. But yeah, I can't share it. I don't have my second screen on me currently.
Oh,
Unfortunately.
man, you suck. Anyway, cool. Like Hunter said, we're gonna drop that merch. Again, guys, none of this is for us to get rich or anything. We're not trying to do that. We're just two crazy logistics animals out here just trying to have fun, and we want you guys to have fun with us. And we think part of that is dropping some funny ass merch. One of the things we got going is only freight. I'll let you figure out where that comes from. And we got some sick logistics lounge stuff. I don't know if you guys actually, I'll pull 100 with that. We have some stuff that's also got our logo that you see. Crapola, let me pull it up. That logo right there, as you can see, we got something coming up with that. Shirts, hats, beanies. Like Hunter said, none of this shit is crappy. All the headgear and the shirts are embroidered, except for the one with our background there. That one is a screen print, and that's only just because of the color variations and the size. So none of this stuff.
Were you trying to show the background? Is that why you cut us out of?
Yeah. That's why that's literally why I said that. That's why I pulled us down.
Well, it's on all of our pages. You know our logos. Yeah. You've seen it. You love it. So once again, if y'all have any ideas, drop it down because we are here for it. We will meet you guys in the middle. And once again, it all goes towards the show. Mm-hmm. We're not here making bucks. We're just out here making better content for y'all.
It is. I mean, literally all of our merch, I think Hunter put like a 3% profit margin or some stupid shit like that. Like it's low. Like again, it's just to support the show. I mean, that really all it is, man, for us to continue to buy our program. All that stuff.
It pays for our Shopify. It pays for just the platforms, just like this. And it's because of you guys, our beautiful lounge lizards. Okay.
Dude, we are so gonna come up. You so got to.
Oh, I already got the idea. It's up here.
That is gonna be so disgusting. All right. So before we end our show, we're gonna go ahead and give out our final sponsor shout out here. As you guys can see, AccuBid Pro rolling along the bottom of your screen. Jimmy and his team over there, they got an amazing app. I mean, like I said, we've been freaking talking about it for 3 months. I mean, if you don't know about it now and you ain't went downloaded it, if you're a lease or owner operator, then I mean, for real, like you're doing yourself a disservice. I mean,
you're playing yourself. You're playing yourself.
You're real. You are for real. I mean, it's free for the first month while they're advertising on the Logistics Lounge. And it just is an invaluable tool to all you owner operators out there, and also you dispatchers. We had Sam May on talking about how he would like to promote this to his drivers. So dispatchers, hey, AccuBid Pro does promote this to your drivers, help them learn their revenue and expenses, figure out their cost, and figure out their costs per mile, so they know at what rate they're profitable.
Don't be a victim of cheap freight anymore. Take back control. These are turbulent times for the transportation industry, with companies merging or even closing their doors. Whether you're going out on your own or leasing on with a new company, know your operating costs. Look out for you and bid better with AccuBid Pro.
Woody woo! I should say hootie hoo. All right. Once you download that app, you start making all them dollar bills, y'all. You're going to need someone to send them invoices to so you can get paid quick, fast, and in a hurry. And Clint Weston, Nick Yunker, and the rest of their team over there at Shoreline Capital, they got your back. Yeah.
Bam.
Dr. Drizzy, you have any closing comments to this beautiful, lovely crowd before we chop out?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everybody. We officially hit 300 followers on LinkedIn today, and it is only the 14th of December. We've been at it for almost 5 months. In the past 30 days, I believe we've gained a little around 250 followers. So thank you to everybody for watching. And as always, if something, that we're saying here really hits home to you, Matt Dahl, fan number one, share our stuff, man. Guys and gals, share our stuff. Any support helps us. We're not out here trying to do anything special except for y'all, and just spread the good word about logistics. This is a tight-knit community. It's a family, and we're just trying to take care of everybody. So once again, thank y'all for 300 followers. And we're looking forward to keep on growing here.
I second everything Hunter said. I would say we gained 100 just over the week, and I know that may not seem a lot to a lot of people, but I mean, to us it is. We've only had our LinkedIn page up maybe 2 weeks, and we started out the week with 200, and today we hit 300, and we still have tomorrow to go.
Yeah. And even on Facebook, we're up to 206, I think, on Facebook.
Yeah,
so
205 or 6. So, hey, seriously, go out there and share our stuff, man. Like I said, we're not trying to be crazy, trying to get rich, not like that. We just want to bring fun, entertaining content and be on the lighter side of this industry, man. A lot of people think that, you're dealing with all these CEOs and these VPs and these logistics managers, and everyone in this stuff is tightwad, and that's just not the way it is. So, we try to bring real informative content to y'all. That's all we truly care about. You see, we do things for both sides, carriers, brokers, technology, and all kinds of things. So yeah, continue to show some love, like, share, follow, especially
and our YouTube page as well, at the Logistics Lounge.
Yes. So with that said, we will bid you beautiful, beautiful people adieu. And as I like to say, chunk the deuces.